Hey guys, this is a video about tonalism, more traditional in approach. Previously, I uploaded several tonalism videos. One is direct approach, then also finished approach, and also impressionistic approach. This time it's traditional in approach, so keep watching. Sorry to cut the flow of your video, but this is an announcement post that I run realistic oil painting classes online. So if you wish to learn how to paint high realism without paying too much, then you can contact me on Instagram. So let's continue with the video. Okay, so I'll be using flake white hue, cadmium lemon, yellow ochre, and light red and ivory black for this painting. Cadmium lemon is only for warming up purposes. So here I'm putting some oil onto the canvas surface, and then yellow ochre. Yellow ochre will be the main color. Now in this painting I'll be going traditional in result and following a modern painting method, and this is the sort of painting method that I learned from an artist called Dennis Sheehan. So I liked his approach, so I followed it to some degree. Now here you can see that I'm wiping some of the areas, and I don't use tubs that often. I'm using mostly linseed oil, that's all, and I'm wiping with a tissue and sometimes with a rag, and that produces a good result. So even if you make a mistake, you can wipe it off and start fresh. But here, as you can see, I'm using a very thick brush, which is a fan brush, and trying to get to some sort of a concrete shape. But it doesn't really matter. You can develop it later as well. And I am not aware of anything at all. I mean, what this scene might look like. We are going to explore it, explore the possibilities, and then derive at something which looks realistic. But eventually this is like a golden evening situation where the light is very little, and we are going to follow that idea. And sometimes it's misty, so do check out my misty landscape video that I showed in the beginning, so which is more of a finished approach in tonalism. Now whatever paintings that I've seen from the tonalist artists of USA, they were producing a traditional looking painting but in a more abstract way. But it's not about technique, it's about the result that we are producing. So if it looks traditional, then it is good enough. But whether you're following a finished approach or a direct approach, impressionistic approach, then that might be your choice. Apart from the Americans, there were a lot of tonalistic paintings done in Europe by Impressionists and Barbizon school artists and many others, but the Americans gave it the name, and it's highly poetic in nature, and most of the time it's following a dawn scene or maybe a misty scene or absolutely a sunset scene like this one. So you can see that how roughly I am painting, and there is no intention to do the details at all. But eventually we can, when all the things are put in place, then we can start detailing, and eventually it can become a very highly finished painting as well, with keeping the immediacy intact. Now, when we are talking about tonalism, it's important to let everybody know that there is a big flaw in today's paintings. In most cases, paintings lack something to communicate. I mean, painting is a tool to communicate an idea or a feeling or a mood or a story, whereas in most cases it's just the impressionistic thing. Even impressionists went away from that in later life. They wanted to create something more. So the lack of communication is really impacting what art has to do in the society. Now, even if you're not trying to communicate a particular story or an event, then it is also important to create a mood painting so that the viewer can experience some sort of upliftment in life. Now, as you can see that I'm, getting closer to what I wanted to achieve in this particular painting, a very peaceful mood in a way. Um, there wasn't anything concrete in my mind except that it has to be a very dark, evening scene. Now I'm using the white very carefully because I don't wish to distort or pollute uh, the initial shapes that are done by the transparent dark colors, and it's important to retain those. It's somehow similar to a watercolor where we try to prevent the whites to get muddy or anything, the polluted. So here it's important to prevent the darks as well. Approach is very similar. Now I am using the whites here to accentuate the scene, and you can see that there is a lot of yellow ochre mixed into it. Now adding just a little bit of cadmium lemon to retain the warmth. Otherwise, yellow ochre has a tendency to go towards pink because the inherent red into it. Now I am, focusing on the shape of the tree. At present, it doesn't look that good, but eventually will arrive at something. It's a process of trial and error, and eventually, if you wish to refine everything further, then it'll become a finished painting. So that is your choice. Here, this painting took just an hour, so nothing more than that. And this is a good approach. I mean, if you have something similar, you can take a palette and a piece of canvas like this and put it on an easel or inside your car, and you can paint plein air and just bring it back home. So this is a very easy approach. Just 4 or 5 colors, in general red, yellow, blue and white, and you can paint your scene. Even if you wish to ignore the reality, that is also there. So these are the purposes of art. Once you master the realism, then you move towards how to make this particular painting beyond what it appears in reality, to achieve some sort of a different reality. So that is what I'm doing, and or at least aiming at, to gain some sort of a spiritual aspect in my paintings. I have now moved on to this little puddle section, using just a little palette knife with vertical strokes and creating an interplay between the white and the yellow ochre, and also the darks, the reds, so just to create an impression. So if you like this video, then please click the like button, and also remember to subscribe, and remember to click the bell icon so that you get notified when a new video has been uploaded. If you have any queries regarding painting or materials, etc., then I'll be happy to comment back. If you're interested in seeing my other paintings, then you can go to my website www.kaustavandfineart.com. So I thank you very much for your time. Take care.